want to talk to you today about what to expect from your contractor if you're planning on pouring a stamped concrete patio. Pouring a concrete pad by itself can be hard enough, but when you mix in the process of stamping, it gets even more challenging. I want to discuss with you a few key steps to keep in mind when your contractor pours your pad, so you don't end up with a expensive eyesore in your backyard. First step your contractor should do is the subgrade. With this, he's going to remove all the topsoil from the area where you're going to pour your patio and bring in crushed stone material at the thickness of about 6 inches. And we'll put he should put a high compaction on this so we can provide drainage and stability to the concrete slab above to prevent cracking and settling in the future. After this is completed, he will set the forms in place, which will hold the concrete. These forms are usually made from 2x4s, or a flexible form can be used to create radiuses or other unique shapes. Once the forms are in place, the contractor will want to set their forms to elevation, the proper elevation, so your concrete will have pitch and allow water to roll off, because nobody wants a puddle in the middle of their patio. After the forms are set, the reinforcement can be placed inside the forms, usually in the form of reinforced bar or rebar or a wire mesh grid. This will provide tensile strength for your concrete and also prevent cracking in the future. Once your forms are placed, the concrete is ready to be poured. Your contractor should use a ready-mix concrete truck from a concrete company to ensure that you get the best concrete mix for your job. You want to make sure your contractor does not pour the concrete too dry, which will not allow him enough time to properly place the concrete, or too wet, which will create segregation and make a weaker product. There are several methods your contractor can use to bring the concrete to the pour. You can either be directly poured from the chute, or it can be brought to the form in wheelbarrows, or a concrete pump can be used to get to hard to reach spots. As soon as the concrete has been placed in the forms, you need to start finishing it. First, you use rakes to move it around to where you want it, and then straight edge it off with screeds, and then use a tool called the bull float to smooth it out to get rid of your highs and lows. Once the surface is free of imperfections, the contractor will be done finishing. Stamping is the next step, which is probably the hardest step involved. It's all about timing. If you start too early, your stamps can sink in the concrete, creating foot tracks, which will then become puddles. If you wait too long, then you will not get enough impression on your stamp, leaving an amateur looking job. Once your concrete has reached the consistency ready to stamp, you need to use a powdered concrete release to put on the concrete. This creates a barrier between your stamps and your concrete, so the stamps will not stick to the concrete, and they also will add extra color for shadowing. The first thing the contractor wants to do is go around the edges with hand stamps to get texture on your edges. After that is done, he can use the larger stamps to walk in and get the brunt of the work. The stamping should start at where you started pouring and finish where you started finishing. The stamps lock together like a jigsaw puzzle, so you need to make sure the stamp stays straight and tight, or you'll have sloppy looking lines and impressions. Once you've gone across the whole slab and removed your last stamp, the stamping process will be done. Usually within 24 hours, you'll want to put control joints in your slab. These control joints will provide relief for cracking in the slab, because all concrete cracks, and these will ensure that your concrete cracks will follow the straight lines that you put in. Once you have completed putting your control joints in, you can cure the concrete with a curing compound or by using water. The curing compound can be rolled on or sprayed on, or you can use water to keep the concrete wet for 30 days. The curing process takes 30 days to achieve full strength in your concrete. The last step in doing your stamped concrete pad is sealing it. The sealing is a VOC sealer, which provides a high gloss finish, and it brings out the colors and impressions to make it look more like natural stone. The sealer will protect from chemicals and dirt and staining from leaves and other materials. Hopefully, if you plan on having someone pour a stamped concrete pad, knowing these steps will help avoid shortcuts from your contractor that could cause major problems in the future. Thank you. Any questions?
None for me.
I'm good. Very informative.
Great job. Thank you.
Thank you.